Hello everyone, my name is Sharon Milne Barber from Bengal Rose Healing and Quantum Trance Healing. I've come on today to do this video for you to tell you about my latest book called Past Lives. This is something I've been working on for quite a while, and it's I did put a book together quite a few years ago about the soul connection called Adeline, and over the last few years I've been given so much knowledge and gone into quantum, multidimensional timelines, dimensions, and my understanding of past lives and connecting through multiverse timelines has become a very prominent part of my teaching. So I rewrote the book, adding loads of information into it, and I said to my guides, what shall I call it? And they said, well, we will call it Past Lives, because that's what it's all about. So it's it's like twice the size it was, and I've got a new cover. I'll try and show it to you. I'll be clever with my phone here. So this is a author proof. It's got a line through it, but if you can, that's what it looks like. It's got that lovely big ethereal figure and the people down below with all its past lives. It's available on Amazon all around the world, and it's available on Bengal Rose Healing Etsy shop. I'm just waiting for my copies to come in, but you can buy it, and I'll message you and say they're due in mid next week. So within the book, I start off by the concept of past lives, and we talk about multiverse timelines, dimensions, soul transitions, the higher self and the human ethereal essence, and the soul plan. So this is like a starting point to understand about past lives and what they are, and why they're there and why they exist. Then I'll have a small section on celestial guides which work with us, and we quite often work with similar or same guides through our different past lives. Now, our ethereal light body, which is prominent in this, is the part of us that is a consciousness from the quantum domain, creative intelligence, which a lot of people on earth understand and have labelled the God energy or God. They don't use the word incarnation anymore. They use the word ethereal connection. I actually have put in there also about the change of language and what they use now, so that you can have that higher understanding, which is what has been brought to me over the last few years from my guides. I've had many past life regressions through my life, which have been recorded or written down, and the interesting thing with this is that my ethereal light body essence has been part of many past lives on earth already, as well as this one here and on another planet, and this being's also being a guide to a young boy in the Second World War on this planet. So it's when we reach the past life regression session, that is told from my ethereal being's point of view. So they channeled my lives through me, of where I've been, and all of these I've had past life regression here on earth on, and there's one on a planet called Castrolium, and when I had a past life regression where one of them, which was a past life with Eliza, and I was going through that past life, and I died, and then I explained what happened when I died. The past life regressor asked me to go into my next phase of where I go. So I went it looked to me like a garden with a bohemian tent. And there was lots of, I could see human forms relaxing, and I was in this space of relaxation. And then she said to me, can you go to your next life? And that's what really threw me, because I went to this next life, and I looked down at my form, and I was not human, but I had like legs, arms. I was a different type of form. I knew I wasn't on Earth. I was looking at what looked like a calm water expanse, and in the reflection of that was a big planet with like a ring round it, reflecting in the water and above in the sky. And I remember coming back being wowed by that, because I realised my next past life was not on this earth. And as my teachings went on, they brought forward, I visited this planet in dreams and astral travelling, and I realised that this planet was, they named it Castrolian. This was the planet that my ethereal body had a past life on. After this other past life I'd had this past life regression with, and it just blew my mind, you know. And this is all in this book. All of these past lives are here, and then they explain, my ethereal self explains why they had that past life, why they chose to join with that physical being, and what was to be learnt from it. And then they do a conclusion at the end of each section of what they learnt and what their thoughts are. So it's very, very interesting. I also was asked by my guys to include my quantum trance evening, my quantum trance healing work at the end, because that's to do with multiverse timelines. It's to do with past lives. It's also to do with future projection. So you can connect with so I have a guide that work with me called the Sanatorians. There's 5 that work with me. They come in 5s, and there's one that presents himself as John, and there's one that presents herself as Mary. Very basic names, just so that we can cope with that. They don't have names. They have like frequencies, and it's different to what we know. And they do this work with me, and what I do is I go into trance, and the energy of Mary comes forward, and the other guides are there as well, propelling this energy and building it up. And they connect to the client with me at that point in time where we are in the room, asking permission to go down their timeline and multiverse timeline into the past. And then they will connect with a point in the past and describe briefly what that life is, where it is, and why they stopped at that point and what was to be learnt from it. And they only stop at the point where you've probably brought something forward into this life that needs to be healed or shifted, because it does travel. Things can travel, even though when the ethereal light body goes back and it's cleansed and the earthly burdens are lifted, there still can be transition of energies that come forward from it, and it could be from certain points. So in your past. We also talk in the book about Nostradamus, about work done by a therapist who knows longer with us, and how she connected with him, and that's in the book. So that's an interesting little bit, and she's well worth following and reading her stuff. Also, we talk about going forward in time and what that concept is and what that consequences of that can be. So yeah, it's got a lot in it. So yeah, see if you fancy having a read. It's available on Amazon. If you go onto my personal page, Sharon Milne Barber, or my Facebook page, Bengal Rose Healing, I've put links in there to it, or you can contact me by email. You know, some people don't like to buy off online, and you just pay me through the bank and I'll send you a copy out when I get them in, which should be next week. So I leave that with you. Yeah, enjoy the book if you choose to buy it. And I shall just read this to you, just to make you think. I am an ethereal spiritual being experiencing a physical life on earth. I walk in human form, taking human steps and experiencing the third dimension's physical plane, learning and collecting knowledge and wisdom on the way. I am happy and at peace with my temporary form. It's just a thought for you. I'll leave that with you. Bye.